Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Hashim Kumar. Poland has extended its border closure with Belarus until mid-November after talks between Prime Minister Donald Tusk and Lithuania's Inga Ruziniene. The decision follows a series of hybrid incidents, from Russian-Belarusian military drills to smuggling balloons crossing into Lithuanian airspace, even forcing Vilnius airport to close. Amid growing tensions with Minsk and questions over how far Europe can go in isolating Alexander Lukashenko's regime, we're joined by Dmitry Bolkunets. He's co-founder of the Forum of Democratic Forces of Belarus. Hello and welcome to TVP World. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, hello.
So lots to unpack here, but let's start with the impact of the border closure on Belarus. First of all, does it have an impact? And if so, what is that impact?
Yes, of course. Closing border is very important for Belarus, for trade, for transit goods from China to Euro-Union. And last year, when Poland government closed border temporarily for a few days, was very, very important issue, and it's helped to release political prisoners. And for a few weeks or probably months, migration crisis was less. And today, I think only one way how to stop repression, how to stop migration crisis, how to stop this hybrid attack to Lithuania and to Poland with drones. I think only so very strong measure like temporary closed border is measure how to stop this. And I think Lukashenko is now feel sanctions, so measure like temporary closing border, and I hope he ready to prepare and to sign a big deal. I think now very important role is play with together White House, because Donald Trump is
I'll
thinking
come to the
about
White House in just a second, Dmitry. But before we get there, I want to ask you a little bit more about the impact on Belarus. So you say that Lukashenko is actually facing some pressure here. It's making a big difference. Last time, he had to make some concessions. Do you believe that he's going to have to make concessions again?
I think he near future will be ready to sign a declaration or some deal between. I hope so, between Euro-Union and Belarus, because I think he's
what sort of
also
deal?
interested in to stop migration crisis, because it's handle make crisis. Also, I think he's will be ready to stop so hybrid attack. Probably is not Lukashenko doing, but I think he have opportunity to stop this attack against Lithuania, because today he also talk about this situation on the border, and also I think he will be in some way will be ready to release all political prisoners. But for him, this prisoners is like goods for sale. And he will ready to do it.
Right.
But I think it's very important to talk with him about that.
Understood. Now, just 1 second on that, just to be clear for the audience, we're talking about the illegal migrants that Belarus put on the border with Poland, Poland has been working very hard to keep them out of the EU. So you believe that all of those issues are on the table. What about within Belarus? Do you see any signs of discontent amongst the Belarusian people or people in power as a result of these border closures?
So I think, of course, if border will close, is suffer for people, for companies also. And I hope if in near future, all these problems between Belarus and the Euro-Union, between Poland and Belarus, between Lithuania and Belarus will be solved. I hope governments will be talking about necessary to open borders for people, firstly, because now we have only one checkpoint between Belarus and Poland in Brest. I hope and I believe it's necessary to open in near future also the same points near Grodno, and also to restart trains for people, because from 2020 there are no any communication restraints. Because in other way we will have and we now have new iron curtain between Belarus and the Euro Union. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Right. After the Second World War, never before the border was closed in so long period.
Understood. Now, tell me about the situation between Lithuania and Belarus. Now, Belarus has been sending balloons into Lithuanian airspace. The airport in Vilnius, Lithuania's capital, has been closed down because it's dangerous for planes to fly. What's going on there? What's the dynamic? Why is Lukashenko doing this?
Probably Lukashenko, probably Putin doing, because they now thinking about attack NATO countries. They thinking about to testing how military some system will be doing during so attack. Because I believe Putin not stop on Ukraine. He thinking about necessary to attack Lithuania, probably because he needs road to Kaliningrad. And so hybrid attack is also important for Putin. But also Putin now, I think, together with Lukashenko, using Lukashenko like his partner, he's thinking about to communication with Trump administration, and so way Putin wanted to show that if no will be deal between United States and Russia on Ukraine, he will be attack other countries. I think so, because Lukashenko also thinking about that, because now he start communication very I think good communication between United States and Belarus administration, and they thinking about to restart relations.
Understood.
And probably if they have some problems in some aspects of questions, probably Lukashenko in some way wanted to rise up his position.
Understood. Okay, I'll come back to that in just a second. But there is another issue. Not so long ago, China, a Chinese representative, came to Poland, and it was negotiated that the border closure between Poland and Belarus would be raised. In other words, the border was reopened simply because it stopped the flow of Chinese goods into Belarus and through into Europe. What can you tell us about that situation? Are we going to see a Chinese diplomat coming to Poland again? How does it affect the Chinese, and how do you think they'll react?
So I think for China, Poland is a more important partner than Belarus. If we compare trade relations between Poland, China and Belarus, China, the difference is in 10 times. Of course, in Poland, Poland is more important. So I think China will be have communication with Poland and with Belarus, of course, and probably with Moscow, because also Russia depends from this transit and using Belarus territory for trade between the Euro Union and Russia. And I hope this aspect is very important now. And I hope Lukashenko understood his role, his position, and he understood that now he suffers from some sanctions, like temporary block some goods on the border. And I hope China will have some instrument how to pressure for Lukashenko, especially trade, some credits, etc. So I think, of course, I think so. Poland and Belarus have communication, not in public, under curtains. They continue communicate in some levels. and they talking about some measures how to
So
stop
do you
this.
think, Dmitry, sorry, I just need to get a couple of questions in. Do you think that China has a role to play in reducing or stopping this hybrid war that Belarus is currently prosecuting against the European Union and maybe also with Russia?
So China, I think, thinking about safe transit between countries. So they're thinking about only about trade. And Belarus is very important for China. 4% of China export goods now cross to Euro Union.
Is this leverage?
From
Is
Belarus.
this leverage for the
Yes.
European Union to exert on China and say, fine, you want your goods to go through Belarus, that's great, but we
Yes.
need something from you, China, and we need your influence on Belarus, and we need
Yes.
your influence in Russia. Do you think that's a possible scenario?
Yes, of course. I think now we have not only China, we have another also very important player, UK, United Kingdom, and United States. Because United States, I believe, they thinking about this territory, like Belarus, is important role in trade between China and the Euro Union. Of course, for United States, China is, I think, a not comfortable partner. They analyzing trade between China and the Euro Union, and of course, United States and the United Kingdom also. They not will support for continue so high level influence of China in Euro Union and in Belarus also. In some way, I think these players will be find some solution for Lukashenko, how to send him message to stop repression, to stop this migration crisis, and prepare so big deal between Belarus and United States, for example, and receive some security, for example, for his family or something so.
Right.
Because China is not gave him security for his family, for his life. United States.
Dmitry,
can
unfortunately, we're going to have to end it there. The clock has beaten us, but thank you as always for sharing your analysis with our audience. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away. News coming right up. Goodbye.